Welcome back to Carneades.org. Today we're going to be continuing with our series, Dumbfounding Definitions, Dizzying Distinctions, and Diabolical Doctrines, looking at some of the jargon of philosophy. In this video, we're going to continue with Aristotle's four causes, looking at what is a formal cause. Now, as its name suggests, the formal cause of an object is its shape or form. This is the cause which will answer questions such as, why does a cup hold water? Because of its shape as a cup. If it did not have that shape, it would not be a cup, and it would not hold water. Formal causes are those essential properties which make something what it is. A human has cells and DNA arranged in a certain way, such that they are a human and not a dog. The arrangement or form is what makes them a human and not a dog, because mostly the same elements are present in both. Just the way that we arrange the cells or the DNA within those cells is what changes. The formal cause of an ice cube is its shape, that it's cubic. The formal cause of a book is that its pages are arranged and bound together. The ink is on those pages in a way such to create words. The formal cause specifically of infinite jest is different than the formal cause of Hamlet, because the ink is arranged differently and one has much more paper. And the formal cause of a flower is its nature, how it's made, the shape of its petals, and the DNA of its cells. So those are hopefully some examples to give you a basic idea of what a formal cause is. But as always, a skeptic, I'm going to have some concerns or objections. So while this idea of kind of essential properties is ubiquitous, it has some issues. Even if I have a cup with a hole in it, I would probably still call it a cup, even though it doesn't really have the same form as a cup that doesn't have a hole in it. And it lacks that kind of essential property of being able to hold water. Similarly, I'm worried about the book example from earlier. Infinite jest, translated into French, has a very different form in terms of the shape of the ink on the page than infinite jest in English. But there is some sense in which it is still the same book, despite having a different form. As with the material cause, this is not a concern with the idea of formal causes in and of themselves, rather with the idea that form and material alone are what make a particular thing that thing. It seems that there's something beyond just a thing's form which defines it, or which could be essential to it. It seems that just as material is not sufficient to answer questions about weight, form and material together are not sufficient to answer questions about something's nature. Why is this copy of Infinite Jest, even though the form of all the words is different, still a copy of Infinite Jest? The form seems different, but the actual item is the same. What makes those the same? The answer, because it's in a different language, doesn't seem to have to do with physical form. But rather, it seems to have to do with human beliefs about words, and Aristotle really wants to keep human beliefs out of his idea of causes, as we'll see in the next two causes a little bit more. So, I'm a little concerned that physical form alone, is insufficient to define this. So, similar to us maybe needing something like relational cause in addition to material cause, we may need something in addition to formal cause to define something as what makes this book Infinite Jest and not something else. How do you think Aristotle would deal with this objection and this concern? I am not a Aristotle scholar in great depth, so perhaps there's someone out there that has a sense of a way Aristotle would deal with this, or has already dealt with this, or just you yourself can imagine what's going on. What is going on in this debate? What would Aristotle use to combat this? And do you think we need more causes to explain this variation in objects which are otherwise the same? Watch this video and more here at Carneades.org, and stay skeptical, everybody.